I'm going to teach you 5 lessons that I learned doing my first 100 sales on Cardmarket. If you're an absolute beginner, I recommend checking out my other video. But these are things that you will definitely run into when you're still ramping up. So I'll share my experience. Hopefully, it makes your journey a little bit easier. The first tip is about pricing. And my advice is to price lowest in your country and not lowest overall. And this is because of shipping. So you'll see that shipping can vary. I used the Mega Evolution booster box as an example. And I think if we scroll down, yeah, so over here we see a good example. So I can get this booster box from the Netherlands, which is where I'm a resident, for $255, and shipping is 13. And then below, there's one from the Czech Republic, and it's $7 cheaper, but shipping is more than €7 more expensive. So in total, this Dutch option will still be cheaper for me, right? And now obviously here there's a lot of other cheap options, but this principle will apply quite often, where you can afford to not be the absolute cheapest seller because of the shipping differences between countries. So it's important to realize that it's always cheapest to ship to people that live in your own country, right? So that means that it's also always cheapest to buy from sellers that live in your own country because shipping fees will be the lowest. Now, this is about a booster box. For very cheap letters, this difference is relatively minimal, but for larger orders, the differences can be quite large. This means that you automatically have a leg up in your competition for the difference in shipping price between your countries. So if shipping is €5 more expensive, then my card can be €4 more expensive and still be the best deal overall. So within this margin, you're effectively mainly competing with sellers from your own country. My second tip is in a similar vein, and it's that you should price your cheap cards higher. So most of the cost for getting cheap cards is shipping, and if you have multiple things that the buyer wants, then it's often relatively irrelevant how expensive your small cards are, because you will be the cheapest seller for them. For you, however, this can make a huge difference. So I don't sell super cheap cards. I don't do any normal bulk, but anything between like 50 cents and €2, I just automatically price at €2. I don't list anything under €2. And I regularly sell these cards, even if the market price for the individual card is a lot less. So you'll see an example here where I've listed this card for €2. And I know, so you see I'm all the way down here is where I'm listed. And I know that for me, a letter is €1.31 in the Netherlands. And foreign letters will be at least €2. So I'm beating out all of the non-Dutch sellers, well, at least up until this point, this €1.30, because there's a 70-cent difference. So I'm almost at the top for Dutch people. Now, obviously, there's a lot of Dutch sellers here as well, and I won't have any shipping benefits on them. But there's often the case where there's not as much competition on a card, and then you can easily just be a little bit higher. And to take it further, if you have a little bit of inventory, then this tip scales even better, because buyers will be able to get multiple things from you at once, which means that you have even more margin. Because if they have to get 4 or 5 cards sent to them individually, as opposed to getting all of them from you in one go, well, you can be a lot more expensive and still easily be the cheapest option for them overall. This is most relevant within a set, since people that buy these kinds of cards are typically master setting. So you can leverage this benefit without needing a huge inventory, as long as you have a good amount within a certain set. My third tip is to grade your cards quite strictly. So when listing cards, I advise to be on the stricter side. It might seem nice at first to, maximize your listing prices, but it only leads to headaches down the road in my experience. So when in doubt, I always take the lower grade. And if I'm inspecting a card that's been ordered for shipping and I find myself doubting it again, I will simply just offer a new price based on the lower grade. And for me, it's always worth it for customers to be happy or to get a slightly better card than they expected, It means quick and easy deals with great reviews instead of having to deal with unhappy customers or processing refunds or returns or just wasting your time in general on conflict resolution, where you could have made up that little bit of extra money by doing, 1,000 more useful things in that same amount of time. My fourth tip is to standardize your shipping. So, understand your inventory and have a standardized approach to packaging and shipping. I have essentially only three types of order that I rinse and repeat for 99% of customers. I use a label printer to label everything, and I have physical stamps for letters. For packages, I generate the labels online and I just print them at the post office, which means that I never have to stand in line or deal with payments in store. And for me, this has proven a very efficient process. I have two kinds of envelope and one kind of letterbox. And this covers essentially everything that I do. Maybe in the future, I'll consider a larger label printer so I can immediately label packages at home as well. But for now, it just isn't necessary. My final tip is perhaps a little bit obvious, but something that took me a little bit of discipline to start up. Is to organize your inventory. So in the beginning, when I had like a 50 or 100 cards listed, I think I just had them all in top loaders in an ETB box. But it quickly becomes annoying. Small inventories, I would recommend sorting by set, and large inventories are probably best alphabetically. But either way, find a system that works for you. For me, I have a slab case that holds my slabs and a BCW hard plastic box that holds my singles. I think this box comfortably fits 5 to 600-ish top loaders, and the slab case fits just under 100 slabs. This is perfect for me. I also tried the classic cardboard boxes, but in my opinion, everything just got disorganized very quickly, and I would only recommend those if you have a drawer system that you can put the boxes into. But if you're constantly having to take stuff out of the box or move the box around, then in my opinion, the cardboard just gets skanky over time. All right, hope you enjoyed. All the best.